exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the Wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on seclosounds.org. Jolly good. Sound a big thing now.
Hi, blessings to each and every one of you. Join me, Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover Show for 2 hours of the finest reggae vibes, each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, here on Seclo Sounds. Don't miss out on your weekly Sunshine Fix, featuring roots, rude boy, dub, lovers rock, ska, one drop, and much, much more. So go on, give your sound system a treat. Join me, wind down low, and skank your night away. One love. That's Wednesdays, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Seclo Sounds.
Get it up, my selector.
This is Seclo Sounds, and you can listen to us by clicking Listen Live on our homepage at seclosounds.org for a choice of players. Via TuneIn Radio at www.tunein.com, search for Seclo Sounds and listen online or download the TuneIn app. You can download the Seclo Sounds iPhone app from the iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us on demand at our replay page.
You can contact me at john.gwynn@seclosounds.org. Last year I had a story about Paris Hilton's younger brother, and he misbehaved on a flight, and I said at the time he'd probably just get a slap on the wrist and nothing happened, even though there was a possibility that most people will have a jail sentence. Well, what happened to him? Find out at the end of the show when I do travel news. But at the moment I'm speaking to Angie Sloan from the UK Kenya Tourist Office in London, and we're talking about Kenya, obviously. And the reason for that is, if you've just joined us, is the Foreign and Commonwealth Office to relax the travel restrictions and recommendations on the Kenyan coast. Now we're going to get on to finding out about safaris, which is the reason I went to Kenya twice, was to see the animals. We're now going to find out about how many different places there are to go and see animals in the wild.
Do you know there's 59 national parks, which is amazing. We've got more wildlife habitats than anywhere in the world, and one of the beautiful things about some of the national parks in Kenya is that where they border other East African countries, actually the area within Kenya, some of the parks are smaller, so you have a higher concentration of animals in Kenya than you do in some of the other East African countries. But yeah, 59 national parks. It's amazing.
Which is the most popular one?
It has to be the Masai Mara. That's probably most famous for the migration of the wildebeest, which happens. It's an annual migration of 1.5 million wildebeest and zebra that cross. They follow the scent of fresh grass between the Serengeti and Masai Mara, and this is one of the areas, one of the national parks. The concentration of animals in the Masai Mara is so enormous that, I mean, it is just, there are animals absolutely everywhere. Before I'd been to Kenya, I had this vision that when you go on safari, you'll be driving for 3 hours just to see, 2 giraffes. And there are, as you know yourself, having been there, there is wildlife absolutely everywhere. And the migration is such a spectacle with these millions of wildebeest roaming. One of the big things is the river crossing. As the wildebeest cross over and the crocodiles are lying in wait who haven't been fed for a while. And it is so dramatic. I mean, you see these pictures on the television, you think they've been doctored, but actually they haven't. It's exactly what you see with your own eyes.
The Big Five gets mentioned a lot when you talk about safaris. What is the Big Five?
The Big Five are, originally it was many, many, many years ago, it was a hunting term for a group of animals, and now it's referred to as the ultimate group of animals to see, so to speak. And that consists of the lion, elephant, the rhinoceros, buffalo, and leopard. So that's the Big Five, but they aren't. There's no game hunting now in Kenya, which is fortunate, but that's originally how the term came about.
Out of the 59 parks you got, where are you more likely to see all 5 in one trip?
You can see them. You can see all 5 in the Masai Mara, but you can see it is quite tough to see all 5 in one national park. But you can certainly on one trip see all 5 in possibly a couple of parks. The first place I ever saw a rhinoceros was actually in the Nairobi National Park.
All right.
Yeah, and then there's lots. There's another area, Lewa and Laikipia, where they have some world-class conservation programs for the protection of the rhinoceros. And then they also have other cats up there as well. So, the Mara is a good place. But yeah, Lewa, Laikipia, Samburu, Savo. I've seen lions. So yeah, it's hard to believe, but there are so many of these species in so many different national parks.
Yeah, it took me 2 years not travelling for 2 years, but 2 visits before I actually got to tick off a leopard.
Did you?
Yeah, I was thinking, coming the end of our 3rd day of safari, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to plan another one now because I've still not seen a leopard. But then we found one, we spent about an hour watching it. So, yeah, just sitting in the tree, lying in the tree, wasn't anything. But we're so happy we finally saw it, got the ticket off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you saw one.
I did, yep. A safari, is it something you can do on a fly drive holiday, or you're better off having a guided tour?
When you say fly drive, do you mean self-drive?
Yeah, self-drive.
You can, you can drive through Kenya. Some of the roads in some places aren't that great, and we tend to find, well, personally, if you go with a guide, then actually they can explain to you what you're seeing, where you're driving, and certainly point out the perhaps lesser known types of animal. I mean, it's obvious when you see an elephant what it is, but there's some amazing gazelles and dik-diks and different types of animal that I think probably most people wouldn't necessarily know automatically. And also the bird life. The guides have such incredible knowledge of the different birds. Kenya has, I think, 3rd most species of birds in the world, which again, a lot of people think of Kenya for safari and the animals, but equally the bird life is just absolutely fantastic. So you can drive. I think you get a lot more out of your holiday by going with a guide, and you also have to cover quite a lot of miles. So, I don't know, whenever I get in a car, I tend to go to sleep. At least you can have a bit of a snooze if someone else is doing the driving.
Yeah.
It's a bit more relaxing as well, a bit more relaxing. Or, as I said at the beginning, you can, of course, fly throughout to the different national parks, which saves you time, because most of the flights are an hour or so between parks, a little bit longer to get down to the coast. But it is better utilisation of time, I would say, to fly or be driven.
Okay, stick with the guides then.
Yeah, I would.
When's the best time to go if you want to go on a safari? You mentioned the migration, but is that the only time of year you can go?
Kenya has such amazing climate. You can go all year round. The migration is generally between July and the end of September, October. The first time I ever went to Kenya, I went at the end of October, and I still managed to get the tail end of the migration, but it was quieter. I've also been the beginning of December before the school holidays, and I think that's a really nice time to go as well. Before the Christmas holidays, and that was a really nice time to go as well. But you can go all year round, and you will always see wildlife whenever you go.
Twin Centre holidays now. I guess most people do safari, then they go to the coast, probably Mombasa.
Yeah.
Can you get from the north to Mombasa overland, or is it best to fly?
You can drive, and actually a lot of the tours that are offered now will start at Nairobi and slowly make their way through the country, so you're actually stopping as you go. But you can drive from Nairobi to Mombasa. You can also take the train as well, which is an overnight train from Nairobi to Mombasa, and of course you can fly as well. There are several different airports and airstrips along the coast. So Mombasa is obviously the main international airport. We have flights connecting from the UK into Mombasa as well, but then there are other smaller airstrips, some of which do connect to some of the national parks.
Have you ever done the train?
Do you know, I haven't, and I really, really want to. It's on my list of things to do. I really do want to do the train.
Yeah, my list includes the train and that elephant sanctuary you mentioned earlier. My wife's nuts about it.
Yeah.
She's seen the baby elephants running towards one of the, not the guides, but one of the guys who works there, and you think, that's what I want. I want elephants to charge at me. But there's a lot of beach a lot of beaches around Mombasa. Which is the most popular one?
There are quite a few popular areas. Down in the south, Diani is very popular. It's a beautiful stretch of beach. And then north of Mombasa, Watamu is very popular, as is Malindi as well. Malindi is sort of one of the places that's just sort of becoming more well known in the UK market. A lot of other European countries already go there, but there've been some beautiful new hotels that have opened there recently, so that's getting more popular as well.
I don't tan that well, so every time I went on the beach, I got accosted by beach boys trying to sell me something because they thought I was there for the first time.
Yeah.
Even though I've been there for 12 nights or something, because I just don't tan. What's the best way of asking them to leave you alone? Because some people do worry about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you know, there have been in the past quite a few beach boys. We've been working really hard to firstly educate the beach boys on how best to sell their products in a less intrusive manner, which actually has been really well received. But last year, the Kenya Wildlife Service it set up a beach management program between the Serena and Nyali areas of Mombasa, and it was to train beach operators on how to interact with hotel guests, to organise daily beach cleanups, to educate the locals and the visitors on beach ecology and protecting the environment. And they've also opened up lifeguard posts along the beach to ensure the safety of the locals. So it is something. There's another area as well where they've actually organised a market for the beach boys to sell their goods from within a market as well, where tourists are then encouraged to go and buy. So it is something. I mean, you know, when I go, I just smile nicely and say no, you know, and eventually they'll go away. But it is something that it has been so successful, you know, putting this plan into place to educate the locals on other ways of selling that's not quite so much. So in your face, so to speak, and that it's actually going to be implemented in other beach areas in Kenya as well. So
okay,
I mean, that's where I do my souvenir shopping. To be honest, I've got about 25 carved elephants and giraffes in my house.
I'm looking at a stone carved elephant and a dolphin for some reason. My wife picked up. So yeah, we do get stuff from there.
And they're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they are. They
my little boy adores them.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seklo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seklo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seklosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved. MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seklo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes. They say that 50 is the new 40. Well, guess who's 50 this year?
It's the Newport Pagnell Youth Club! Yay!
To celebrate 50 years of service to the community, we're holding special events over the last weekend of June for the whole community to get involved with. On Friday the 26th of June, it's 60s disco night, yes indeedy, with a 60s style buffet, bar, live band and DJ. Come along in your best 60s gear, man.
On Saturday the 27th of June, there'll be an inter-youth fun day. Teams of 6 will take part in giant inflatable events, including pole jousting, bungee run, beat the goalie and so much more. There'll be a prize for the winning junior and senior teams too.
Then on Sunday the 28th of June, join us for our annual strawberry fair for all the family. Delicious strawberry cream teas, refreshments, arena performances, stalls and attractions. And what's more, all the money raised is put back into the club to make things even better.
We're also looking for old photographs of the youth club from 1965 onwards, so if you've been a member in the last 50 years, then please get in touch. We'd love to hear your stories and see the photos too. For more details, go to www.newportpagnellyouthclub.org.uk and join in the fun this June.